Good morning, good afternoon. James here with the video I wanted to share with you. And I label it called My Kentucky Experience. So why is it called My Kentucky Experience? Well, being from the state of Ohio, when you go to a different state, you kind of learn some things about another state, different county, different towns. And I wanted to share with some pictures with you of this little town I was in, and it was called Corbin, Kentucky. And there's another part of Kentucky I wanted to share it with. And it was an interesting place to go. And I got two little towns I want to show you about. The first town is Corbin, Kentucky. Corbin, Kentucky, as you know, those of you familiar with KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, well, the owner originally started from this little town that I went to go, because I dated a young lady a woman down there years ago. And so Corbin, Kentucky, stands out. Is like a little country town that's not too far from the Tennessee border, and it's next to a little town. You heard of, like, those of you from probably familiar who are from Kentucky, and anybody's on here that's been through Kentucky, you know about and been down that part of the country, part of the state of the country, part of the state. You know that it is really stands out. But today I want to show some pictures of Corbin, Kentucky. First, I want to show you the young lady that I was dating, corresponded with at the time. And this is back in 2000, 2001. About 2001, 2002, I was seeing her. And it was a really unique experience. When I first went down there, it was a culture shock. Needless to say in so many words. And why is a culture shock? Because it was something I've never. It's a real small town, real back small town setting, and it was really uniquely made. But anyway, this was the woman I was dating at the time when I was down in Corbin. She originally met her in Cincinnati, but we lived in Corbin. But her mom has a trailer park down there in Corbin, Kentucky. Because her mom, when her grandmother was living, her mother stayed with her mother and she had an autistic brother, and she had two brothers, and that's her mother in the background. I took a little bit shot of her autistic brother, and that's her in the background. This was the place where they stayed at, was at the trailer in Corbin, Kentucky. And it's way out, like a long country road, and this road is like, it's like literally it's a dirt road, like leads into way in the back in the woods, practically. And it was a really uniquely experience, because I never slept in a trailer before. I never spent the night in sleeping with someone who has a trailer, and it's really. And then on top of that, they didn't have no beds in the trailer. So you know how, I don't know if you ever slept in a trailer, but it's like everything you can feel, hear the pipes and everything, and the wooden floor is cranking, and it was just like, wow, this is really different. But I also have a picture of Colonel Sanders Museum, the restaurant where he was. This is where they got a part. This is where he grew up. They got it when his boyhood, inside his boyhood home. This is what it would look like. And this is another picture of it on the inside. And in Corbin, Kentucky, um, is very uniquely, practically, I would say, kind of, from what I've heard from people that live down there, was segregated. Both black and white told me this. And so when I first went down there, my family got nervous because I went down there. And it was like, wow, why would you go down there and blah, blah. You trying to get yourself lynched down there. And I was like, everything's cool. I made it back all right. This Negro crazy. He dated a white woman down there. And I'm like, no, first of all, she's, as you see, she's biracial. She's mixed, or mixed. Some people want to call it biracial. Some people, she's part black and part white. And she grew up down there. So it was a really uniquely experience. And way down in Kentucky too. Way at the bottom. Those, and it was, it was cool. Her grandma was cool. Her grandma was one of the coolest one. And it was sad that she died. And I remember her grandmother sharing me some stories about, she had a niece that was involved in an interracial relationship down there in Corbin, Kentucky. And the couple had to get up and leave because not too far from the cemetery, if you and see his cousin. I said, hey, anytime you want to go, just let me know, because I didn't rush him because he was an elderly gentleman. He just wanted to spend time with his family before, because the elderly cousin was like in her 90s at the time, approaching to her 100. So finally, unfortunately, she passed away. But she was up in age. But this was another neighborhood of Danville, Kentucky. Here's some more pictures of Danville, Kentucky. This is another neighborhood picture, and this is another picture from a car. I took inside the car. This is where we stopped on his cousin's block down there. But Kentucky is, parts of Kentucky is real laid back. People don't, they're not like the city where everybody's is really in a rush. That part of Kentucky is pretty friendly. Like, if you like the back, like the, kind of a reserved, slow life where it ain't much opportunity in these little towns. But one thing about Kentucky is that, it's less, that part of Kentucky, from what I understand, is less crime. It's less robbery. That's the good things about, certain parts of Kentucky. You ain't got your big city crime. You ain't got no big city gangs coming through down there, because it's like, they don't play that down in certain parts of Kentucky down there, because they will hem you up down there in Kentucky. They probably will hem pretty good. But, it was really a unique experience. And it was just, let me put my pictures back. But yeah, in itself, it was a unique experience, because being from the city and living in other cities and going to a country town like that was really something. It was really it was a unique experience. But yeah, that was the woman I dated down in Kentucky. And I should show you the time. I went to a racetrack in Bristol, Tennessee, and what made me go down there was I went down there with the what they call, event stadium people, that they go in and like they can control to make sure that everybody's seated. And I don't know why they have us did this. I don't think it was necessary to have people that watch, look up in the stands to see if somebody gonna throw something, or somebody gonna get drunk or belligerent, or you try to tell the event staff that, hey, some person's getting drunk or belligerent down there, and so they have the people escort them out, or you guide people to their seat, and different things that they do. You see them at football games, at high school, college, professional football, and you always see the people that they got yellow shirts. They always looking up in the stands, like the security do. They're like making sure everything, no objects don't get thrown at the coaches or the players or anything like that. So that was a uniquely experience. And I tell you, it was it was something, and I didn't really, at the time, I didn't really like being with that company, because it seemed like, even with some of the people that went down there, because when I went down there, people, here we supposed to come down as a security team, and no one tell us, like, we about to leave and break, okay, it's time to stop. No one didn't tell me anything. I'm standing like a fool, looking like a fool, and it made me mad, like, damn, why did someone tell me that they were, why did they tell me that they were, that they were about to break, about, like, we about to break. No one did do nothing. And I don't know what's wrong with when you work around some folks. They don't like to communicate with you. They like to, treat you like the oddball, like the outsider. kind of turned me off from that job. But I'm trying to find the other pictures to it. But let me see if I have any other pictures of that trip I took down there. Here it is. Here's one of them. But this course, I don't know if you know Bristol, Tennessee. This is Bristol, Tennessee. That's where they race sometimes they race NASCAR or the trucks or the pickup trucks that go around. So that was our way. And it's going to the entrance of one of the stadiums down there. And this is the track, Bristol, Tennessee. That's one. And I took pictures of it. So yeah, it was a really uniquely experience going from Bristol, Tennessee. Got a chance to see it. That was my first time. Never been to a racetrack in my life. Not to see race. And I remember that day you had to wear earplugs because it was, it's like the sound from the roaring of the car, the trucks down there going around in a circle. It gets loud, and you have to put earplugs in your ears because it's so loud. I mean, it's really loud. But I never forget that experience, man. And that was my first time that was the first time I've been to Tennessee. This is back in 2003. That was just the first time, just being there for a couple hours with the company that bus down there with, went down there with the group of people that I didn't particularly really, some of the people I didn't particularly care for. But yeah, so yeah, that was my trip to Kentucky and Bristol, Tennessee. Yeah, Kentucky, boy, was a whole. That was an experience. And while we was down there, the woman I showed you, she basically it was a couple of times the people that we were visiting, she would say, well, let me go out and talk to them and see if they were okay, because I don't know if how they feel about black people. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So luckily, nothing didn't jump off, because there's some people that still got that mindset in the country. There's some people that time never left. That they. And so fortunately, the people she took me around, they were pretty cool. They had no problem with me. In fact, I just sat in the background as they talked, but they welcomed me over there. But she was, for some reason, she was nervous because she knew how, from being down there, from her past experiences, she knew how they felt about black people. And then it was confirmed to me through another young lady that, yeah, that's why she left that part of Kentucky, because it was prejudice down there. And she said, she was a white female. She said, that's why I don't want to associate down there, but she said, yeah, I lived down there one time, but I don't want to go back down there no more, because, those people, there were people down there with a certain type of belief. And so I was like, wow, that was real eye-opening. That was confirmation to me, yeah, you was in a not so nice place, that people still harbored these feelings. Now, there are some people, not all, it doesn't reflect the whole town or Corbin, Kentucky, or but it's from what I've seen, it seemed like some of the people were not too friendly to outsiders, and that, like Danville, Kentucky, there was no friendliness at all. And it was really, like I said, it was barely any black people in the town. I only saw one black dude in the whole town. It's one of them kind of towns that there's towns in America that's still like that. And I was in one of them, and she stayed down there. And I remember us getting pulled over by the police. Man, on that backcountry road, I was scared. I didn't know what kind of police officer they was pulling us over. Luckily he didn't check the back seat, because I didn't know what kind of cop that he, and I was just nervous because I don't know what kind of police officers, how they are down there. Luckily, what they were looking for, they were saw Shanae and her grandmother, and explained that they were pulling cars over because there were people coming up and distracting things. You know, there was some vandalism going on, and some people were breaking into people's trailers and on that road. So they had to kind of like confirm who's coming up that road. Any strange car it was. They definitely confirmed it. But you know, it was a really unique experience, needless to say. And her mom, you know, and she when I told her how the funny part when I told her how the way my relatives respond, they was like, "Well, James, it's more precious up here in Cincinnati than it is down in Corbin, Kentucky," which is no. Yeah, there is some pressures in Cincinnati, but not compared to Corbin, Kentucky. Maybe the crime is not like, you know, as far as crime wise, but yeah, you know, it's a different perspective when you're an African American black man from the United States of America, and you meet somebody who is and I met another gentleman that was an older black man, and he told me the history about certain parts of Kentucky, and that there was what they call sundown towns where, you know, you were black, you had to get out before the sun get down, or something would happen to you. And I'm like, whoa, you know, and Corbin was one of those towns that the legacy carried that down there. Now, you know that there's some things that change, but the spirit of some people haven't changed, because some people who live in that town want to keep those certain ways about themselves. Certain people that live there, not everybody, but certain people that do. So that's why my family was kind of nervous about me going down there. And there has been incidents where someone, you know, like someone black ended up committing suicide down there. And it's like, why would they be down there committing suicide in that part? But it happened, and they easily could cover up. And I can understand why they was nervous, because there are people that still operate in that mindset today with the latest cases in here in 2020. Now that was back in 2001, about 2002, which is like 20, almost 19 years ago. But you still got people who operate in that condition. So it was really a really uniquely experience. And that's why I labeled this video my Kentucky experience. But other parts of Kentucky is okay. You know, there's some good parts of like Lexington, and I heard there's like 1-2 little rough sections of Lexington. Louisville, it's the same way. I never been like Western, like, you know, but Paducah and the other little towns out that way. But Central Kentucky, going down from living at the top of Kentucky, going down to the bottom of Kentucky, going a little bit forward towards the east, and slightly towards the Midwest of Kentucky. I've been there. I've been to Frankfort, Kentucky, and Frankfort, Kentucky is like, at the time, this was Toyotas out, and I've been through that area. You just don't know what people go through. she's real cool. And but yeah, that was my first experience being in Kentucky, and the people I met from down there, and some were cool, some were really. Some people were from that town. Some people knew how the history of that town, and they would confirm it to me, and I respect that they were honest with me, saying, yeah, there's some people with that view down, and that's why we had to leave, and because they didn't personally view people like that, but you had some people that do. Now that's coming from their own people. What does that tell you? And because some people I'm not that kind of person like to always use the example of race, but people do see race. People do see black and white and brown, yellow, tan. There's some people that do, and they see the people that represent the ethnic group. So automatically, this is almost an ancient discord, this disdain, and some people act out on it in some form or fashion. It was just on their face. Sometimes they completely won't even make eye contact with you, and you could tell it's not like a stranger. It's like they do not want to look at you. And I'm like, I don't. Most places I go, people make eye contact, or you may wonder why you might see somebody give you a nod and say, "Hey, how you doing?" or whatever. But they just had this look like they wouldn't even look at you. And I'll never forget that look, like, wow, man. But being in court, being that part of Kentucky, certain parts was like that down there. And I was surprised to see another black person down there. I was really shocked. I mean, he was shocked and I was shocked. It was like, I almost want to take a picture. Like, is there a brother down here? Like, what? Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple droplets down there. Couple droplets in them towns. They just hide them where I guess they don't come out too often or something. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let me quit. But that was one of my unique experiences of my experience. So this is the video I wanted to make, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it wasn't too long. But I'm gonna cut it. Usually I make stuff about an hour, but I know some people don't want to watch the whole hour. So I try to limit my time making videos like this. All right, then you guys have a good one. You have a blessed day, blessed evening where you at, and just hopefully, you have a good day where you at, and be some nice and friendly faces, and let's try to get along with one another. Let's stop the bull crap with the let's try, because we gotta live on this planet together. We might as well deal with it one way or the other, whatever comes on this planet. So the next time, Jane, people out there, you take care. See you soon.